Hey everybody, I'm really excited to make this video today. What we've got here is a 104 key bare bones keyboard, and there's a lot of really cool things about it that I really like. This is from the Glorious PC Gaming Race, and that's the company name. I don't know what this model is called. It just says Glorious Modular Mechanical Keyboard, GMMK RGB bare bone edition. So it doesn't come with any switches, doesn't come with keycaps, nothing like that. But yeah, it's a super interesting company. They've been putting out some very value-oriented products. I think it's kind of funny that they're branding themselves like the PC Master Race. You know, build a PC Master Race subreddits. But yeah, they're called the Glorious PC Gaming Race. I guess Master Race was a little too much for them. But anyway, so this is a 104 key, fully Cherry MX and MX clone compatible. Yeah. So it's got an aluminum backplate and black PCB, and all these little white dots you see here are LEDs. They're all RGB LED, and they're all individually controllable RGB LEDs. It's pretty cool. The only downside is you have to do it through software. You can't do it through macros on the keyboard itself. But that's not a huge deal. They also use my favorite type of stabilizers, which are the false key, like the false stem stabilizers, and they're between the PCB and the plate. Yeah, they're between the PCB and the plate, so you can't take them out, at least not very easily. So all of that you just heard, that's the stabilizers just doing that. Anyway, on the back you have a keycap puller. I don't like this type of keycap puller. It's a good way to scratch up your keys like if you have an ABS key that's painted or finished on the top, it's a good way to wear down the finish on that. So I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's handy to have, I guess, just in a pinch. Just leave it there. Fold out feet. Non-detachable cable, but it is braided, and it has a little cap on the end, and then there's 3 channels where you can run the wire: the left, the center, and the right. Not much to say about the box. Glorious modular mechanical keyboard, and full N key rollover, 16.8 million color RGB, just kind of standard. Nothing else came in the box except for this little red keycap, and it says Ascend. So I guess you could put that on your escape key or something. So anyway, I bought 2 of these, and the reason I bought 2, they were only, I have to check the price. They were on sale, and I think they were only 38 bucks a piece, and that's including shipping, which is just absolutely fantastic. And the reason I wanted them so badly is that you don't have to solder to put the switches on this board. So long as they're compatible, which I would say 90% of the switches are, you can just take a look at your copper contacts. There's 2 there, and then there's the aligning pin right in the middle. We'll do the space bar. Just kind of set it down gently, and that's it. And so that key will now function. So the switches I got here are Gateron yellow, and they have a clear top, and they are SMD LED compatible, which means that the LEDs, which are mounted to the PCB, will shine through this little clear, well, not just through the clear part, but there's actually a hole. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it with the camera, but there's a hole right at the top here, and that LED will go through. It's not the best design, honestly, but if you want to have RGB and it's not, I mean, it looks good, but I wouldn't say it looks great. I would say I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 on the lighting. But I'll go over a little bit more of that later. So these are Cherry MX clones. They're Gateron yellows. These are linear switches. I've never tried Gateron yellows. I've tried greens, blues, reds, browns, and blacks. I don't particularly care for Gateron browns, but the rest are pretty awesome. These are, oh, this is actually not one of my Gateron boards. This one's Cherry brown. But anyway, they're fully Cherry MX compatible, so I could take Cherry MX switches and put them on here. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this Gateron yellows on this board, and then I will show you a completed one with Gateron greens and a special keycap set that I really like. Alright, so I'm back with the completed board. There's still no keycaps on it, but the switches are all in. Behind it is my Magic 468, and that's on full brightness, and it's white LED. So we're going to use that as a reference for what the LEDs look like on the 104 modular board. I've already pre-installed the software on my Windows PC, and I'm just going to plug it in now. Neat little startup animation. I think the default color is blue, but I already changed it, so it's red. So you can do single LED color mode. You can pick from a variety of different colors. I think there's only, looks like there's only 20 presets. That's like a pinkish, this one says it's gray, but here's white. As you can see, this to me is pretty much pure white. This is white with a slightly pink tint, and it's not bad, but it is noticeable. It's really noticeable compared to that, but if you're just using this, anyone would look at it and just say, oh, it's white LED. So it's not a huge deal. I think that's because they're not using actual white LEDs. They're using tricolor LED to make white. So they're using red, green, and blue. So I guess the red is coming through a little bit more than the green and blue. I'm going to try a couple other colors. Here's dark red, yellow, magenta, dark green / teal. I really like this color. This is like a nice cooling, like sea foam or something like that. Here's dark blue, like a cyan. And then of course you can turn the LEDs off completely. So here's one of the color modes. This is wave 1. You can change the speed and turn it down really slow. And the keyboard does blink a little bit as you're switching modes, but once it's in the mode, it's not gonna blink like that. You can also change the brightness. And here's lowest. Oh, that's all the way off. Here's the lowest brightness. And you can change direction. You can set the colorful mode. So it's just RGB, I guess. I don't think changing the color in this mode does anything. No. So you can either have single color or you can have what they call colorful mode. Let's try wave 2. It's a little different. Spiraling wave. Acid mode. So that just kind of cycles through the colors. We have breathing, normal stuff here, back to single. Reactive keys, this is pretty cool. So when you type on it, whoa, oops. See if I can open Notepad with without any keycaps. So reactive mode just highlights the ones that you're typing on. Reactive shotgun is the same thing, but it lights up the whole board starting from where you type. If you turn the speed down, it looks pretty cool too. Reactive laser does the same thing, but just for the line. This is called matrix, and it just kind of blinks random colors on the keyboard. This is the same, this is matrix 3, I guess. It's a different matrix mode. Rainbows, cycling colors. You can change direction of this one too. You can have it cycle the other way. Heartbeat sensor. Sounds pretty neat. The Kamehameha. This one's pretty cool. Totally and utterly pointless, but this is another one of those matrix modes. Ping pong goes back and forth. So yeah, there's really something for everyone here. The really the meat of this, and the only thing that I would use, I would either use single color, pick a color, and then the other mode I might use is a custom mode where you can pick a color. Say I want to pick a blue, I want to make the I, O, and P blue. You can also pick, I don't know, you can do like really custom colors too, but I don't know how well they come through, so like I'll do the alt function and that in like a medium green. The camera's not picking up that well, but that's kind of like a I don't know, like a pine green. Do some purple in the arrow keys or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. So you can kind of match it to whatever you want your, like whatever your keycaps, so like what looks good with your keycaps, or you can change it via, you know, like whatever game you're using or whatnot. It even has different modes for like FPS mode, MMO mode, MOBA, RTS. It's just preset stuff, but after you customize all that, there's even 3 different profiles on top of that. So there's really like, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 different custom pages you can make. So yeah. It's really just fun to play around with. And so now I guess we'll switch over to we'll cut over to a completed board with all the switches on it. I'll turn the lights back on, and then I'll show you how that one looks. All right, so we're back, and I guess some of you have heard me talk about the set. This is the Taihao Hawaii keycap set. It's all PBT. It's double shot. I did it in one of my mail unboxings, I guess last month. But anyway, it's a 104 key set. It's a 104 key keyboard. The keys on the, not the keys, the switches on this board are Gateron greens. So they're essentially 20-gram heavier blues, like what you would be used to with Cherry MX blues. So they're really tactile, really loud. They're super fun to type on, super annoying to be on the other end of just listening to this all day. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking set. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors. These two rows might look the same on the camera, but this is a slightly lighter blue. And you have your nice medium blue here, yellow, light orange, orange, and then brown. And the neat thing, I think there's a lot of neat details with this set. With the brown set up here, the text is the light blue from down here. And then the rest of these keys here, the text actually isn't black, it's this brown color here. It comes with a regular escape key, it comes with a regular Windows key or whatever goes here too, but I like the Taihao keycap here, and I like this, whatever this 1962 and like kanji looking symbols are down there. So I think it's a really sweet looking set. This is one of my favorite keyboards. I don't use it a whole lot though. It mostly just sits around and I get to stare at it. It takes up a lot of room on the desk. I like these tiny ones a little bit more. As you can see, they're quite a bit smaller. It leaves a lot more room for a mouse. So anyway, that's, I guess, the glorious PC Gaming Race 104 key bare bones keyboard with modular switches. You can get them with or without the switches. So check them out. They're pretty neat. And one last thing before I let you go. I wanted to show you how this looks with LEDs on, because they look pretty sweet. Even though they're not backlight keycaps, they're not designed for backlight, you still get a lot of light bleed around the edges and a little bit through the keycaps. So especially on white LED, they look really neat. So here's no LED, still full brightness on the keyboard in the back. Here's the lowest setting, which I think looks great, especially with no other LEDs on, no other lights. I have really dim room lighting right now, but with a pitch black room, I think the lowest setting looks really good. Here's one step up, another step up, and another step up. And this even looks good too. So again, this is white LED. And I think some other colors that look good. Red kind of looks decent. The light blue looks pretty good as well. One of my favorite things that I like to do, go into the custom mode, make a custom profile, take the cyan LED, and then you can kind of just I don't know if you can do more than one key at once. Anyway, you can do kind of the cyan keys in cyan. You know, the orange keys in either red or orange. But you can make the backlight follow the gradient of the keyboard. So just another thing to note, I guess. So yeah, check them out. They're really awesome.